Hi everyone. Day 3 of these videos. I hope you're finding them helpful. And before I forget, I just wanted to invite you to share these videos or the YouTube channel with as many people as you can. I am hoping, that these videos will find their way to people during this time that is difficult. And the other thing is, those of you who received these links by email, I mentioned if you feel any gratitude for these, if you're able to donate even $5 to the food bank in your area. There's a bcfoodbanks.ca kind of website where you can go in and donate a little bit, so that way we can all help each other. And so today we'll start with our meditation, and then I will just talk a little bit about stress and how it happens in our minds and bodies, and then we'll give some tips on how to hopefully manage it a bit better. All right. So again, if we can just bring our eyes to closing, if that's comfortable for you, keeping your back upright. If for any reason you're in bed, you can also do it lying down, just with the intention of being wakeful. So we'll begin with the belly breaths, taking in a deep breath into your belly and diaphragm, and then slowly breathing out. And as you breathe out, feeling the experience of releasing tension in the shoulders and the neck and arms. And then again, taking another deep, deep breath. Bring in as much air as you can, filling the lungs, bringing that air to the belly and diaphragm. And then hold your breath for a second or two. And then gradually breathing out, slowly. As you breathe out, release any tension or stress. And again, taking a deep breath, bringing the air into the body, allowing the belly and diaphragm to rise, taking in as much air as you can, then holding your breath for a second or two, and then breathing out slowly, releasing, relaxing the body as you breathe out. And one more time, taking a deep, deep breath into the diaphragm and belly. And then breathing out slowly. Feeling the body release and relax. Going back to breathing normally now. Just finding the natural rhythm of your breath. Breathing in oxygen. Breathing out tension. Inviting the body to relax. So that the feet, the legs, the torso, shoulders and arms relax and release all the tension. We surrender to gravity, allowing the body to feel heavy and relaxed. Bringing awareness to the breath. Finding that very beginning of the in-breath. Feeling the sensations of breathing in through the nostrils. feeling the air traveling through the back of the throat, into the lungs, and then feeling the sensations of breathing out as the lungs empty and the air exits the body through the nostrils. You may also imagine that there's a little cloud of steam just outside your nose. And you breathe in this cloud of steam, and then you breathe it back out. And then you breathe that cloud of steam in, and then you breathe it back out. We rest our attention on the breath as the breath travels in and out of the body. And if the mind wanders off into thoughts, whether it's of the future, worries, or dwelling on things of the past, or is trying to fix something or figure something out, regardless of where the mind has gone, gently but firmly, we escort it back to the breath. Following the in-breath and the out-breath with our attention and focus. And of course, if the mind wanders off, when you become aware that it has gone into thoughts, just noticing, what was it up to? What was it thinking? Just briefly. No need to analyze or figure out what that was about. Just noting what it was up to, and then returning back to the breath. Many times people give up this practice because they say that their mind doesn't stay still, it keeps wandering off. And that is how it is. The mind does wander off. The practice is catching it and having the willingness and discipline to come back. Letting go of those thoughts every time, even if the thoughts feel important. We let them go like a balloon floating up into the sky, and we come back to the present moment's experience. So expanding from the breath, noticing also sounds. Paying attention to the sounds that are coming to your ears. So in this way, you learn that mindfulness can be a very focused, narrow attention just to the breath. Or it can be a wide focus, an open space of awareness. So sitting in stillness, paying attention, and catching when a sound comes to your ears. No need to label, describe, like or dislike the sound. Just being still and experiencing it. You can continue to gently notice the breath while also being aware of sounds. And the same instruction applies if the mind wanders off into thoughts and you realize you're no longer present, just briefly noting where it went and then returning the attention back to the breath and sounds. We keep coming back again and again. And while still being aware of the breath and sounds, now also include the sensations in your hands. Now let go of the hands, let go of sounds, and come back to the breath. The practice of mindfulness is the willingness to be present with whatever is here. And whatever is here may sometimes be pleasant, sometimes may be unpleasant or very unpleasant. Sometimes it's neutral. We are cultivating our willingness to be present with all of it, even the unpleasant. It's not a wallowing kind of thing. If something unpleasant is already here and we resist it, we create tension. We create more suffering and sorrow. So we relax into the experience and watch that the mind doesn't develop a negative story about the experience. That's why mindfulness is moment to moment, non-judgmental awareness. so that whenever we experience something in our awareness, we don't evaluate it, judge it, like it, or dislike it. We cultivate observing it, watching it, being curious about it. So you can take a deep breath, you can stretch if you need to. Somebody pointed out that the video yesterday, there was times where the sound wasn't that good. So today I've got these earphones with a microphone close to my mouth. So hopefully that works well. I'm not doing any editing or anything on these videos. I just record them live as they are, and then I post them with the hope of, reaching people and supporting all of you. So the little topic I would like to talk about today is stress. And so when I ask people to define stress, they say, oh, feeling overwhelmed, feeling anxious. And stress really is the physiological and psychological and emotional response to a stressor. And of course, a stressor is something that when we are in its presence, it creates that reaction of stress. Now, the stressor can be something on the outside or the inside, right? It can be something that we're experiencing on the outside of our lives, or it can be generated by a thought. The thing with stress that's very important to remember is that it's not contained in the stressor. It's contained in the interpretation of that stressor. And that's where we have something that we can influence, is the way we interpret something. And the mind is obviously very involved in that interpretation. And some of our interpretations are influenced by our history, by our own experiences, by our culture. There's many things that influence interpretations. But the first thing to realize is that there's always more than one way to interpret something. And that's where we can have some influence in how we experience something. So, of course, there's many things that are obviously stressful, right? Like somebody not being able to go to work because of this situation with COVID-19. Our medical professionals that are in the trenches, in the front lines, not only worrying and caring for others that are very ill, but also worrying for their own safety. So there are some things that all of us would say, well, obviously, anybody would feel stressed. And that is, of course, valid. What we want to watch is that when we make that interpretation of, oh, this is scary, or this is stressful, or I'm not safe, is how much time do you spend in your mind thinking that thought and growing that story in your mind. And so what's important to understand is that interpretations can be different, and we can change our interpretation. And the other one is that when you get very attached to seeing things in just one way, you don't open up space to perhaps change your mind about how you see it. The mind is busy. The mind is creative. Human beings have amazing imagination. And that imagination can be great, but it can also be unhelpful. You can imagine all kinds of catastrophes, all kinds of horrible things. To me, the antidote to all that is being right here. What is in front of you? Even if you're in front of something that is very difficult, if you break your experience into moments, you can say, this moment is all I need to manage right now. Only this moment. the mind goes to, oh my God, I've been doing this now for days, and now I have all these days ahead of me, and what if this, and what if that, which of course is worrying about a potential future. So really this teaching of being present, of coming here and saying what's in front of me this moment, and only getting through or experiencing or living that moment and then the next moment. Some people may ask, well, how long is a moment? And that's a good question. You know, it may be this minute or these 30 seconds or these 2 minutes. But keeping it to what's your reality right now. And if the mind wanders off into, oh my God, what if this happens? And what if that happens? And how am I going to do this? Asking yourself, is there something I need to figure out or something I need to solve? If the answer is yes, then book some time later today or every day for 20 minutes. Grab a piece of paper, a pen, and sit down and map out how to solve that issue or how to figure it out. By doing that, you free the mind from going there every 5 minutes. Oh, what am I going to do this? How am I going to do it? You just say, oh, there's something I need to figure out. I'm going to book some time. So the rest of the day, when your mind wants to go to that issue, you say, no, not now, not now. When I sit down to figure it out. And for now, I come to the present moment. So to catch the thoughts, if there's something to figure out, you book something for later. If it's just thoughts that are just scaring you, that are dwelling on an awful past, or just thinking about the worst case scenario in the future, and there's really nothing to figure out or solve, then you say, oh, there's those thoughts. Those thoughts aren't helpful. So I am going to come back to the present moment. What's in front of me in this moment? Oh, I'm just washing dishes. Okay, I'm going to focus on washing dishes. Or I am helping this patient. I will focus all my attention in this moment. Can I get through this moment? Yes, I can. And then the next moment, can I get through this moment? Yes, I can. Living a moment at a time is manageable. The mind tries to relive the past and live, a big future, a future that may not happen. So I leave you with that. Those are little tips. I will add a little bit to that tomorrow, just to try to keep these videos not too long. I wish you a great day, and I hope that you can share these with as many people as you can, as a bit of a service to others who may find these meditations and ideas helpful to help with their stress. Sending a warm hug to all of you, and I will see you again. Thank you. Bye.